The raytracer is not limited to one wavelength, but can actually use many during the computation. To demonstrate this, I have a simple scene with a beam source on a sphere which is made of glass, glass being defined in this case as a beta set, which is dispersive. And we can look at the refracting index of this glass, and you can see the dispersion curve here. Now, when I trace this with a basic source, I get the path of my rays, but this has actually been computed for a monochromatic case, which I can change here. So we have here wavelengths of 500 nanometers. I can set this to 800 nanometers and trace again. And the ray shifted a bit because the dispersion of the glass was taken into account during the ray tracing. Now, if I want to, I can also move to the UV and trace again, and the shift will be even more obvious in this case. Now, this source does not need to be monochromatic, but it can be polychromatic. To do this, we just need to change the properties. So the first way to do it is to use polymonochromaticity, in that the source will have several wavelengths that are discrete. For instance, if I set this way, it has only one wavelength of 550, which I can trace, but if I add a new one, and let's split them a bit, so let's put this one at 350 and this one at 800 nanometers. When I trace, we can see a split of the path because the glass dispersivity has induced a different refraction for both wavelengths. So now I can add as many as I want, of course, 500, and they all have their different weights. The weights being related to the number of rays that are computed for each wavelength. Okay, and finally, the spectrum can also be fully polychromatic. So let's try with a flat one first. So if I trace this, we can now see that the beam seems to have broadened because we have a continuous spectrum that has spread due to the glass dispersion. And there are two other ways to do it. So this one is a Planck distribution to emulate incandescent light sources, which behaves exactly the same way. And the last one is user-defined, which is just a file that people will have to load and that will define the power distribution according to the wavelengths.